What's going on, everyone? This is Jay from Premier Gaming Entertainment, and I just want to say first off, before I get started the video, happy Thanksgiving to everyone watching the video. I know I'm making this video typically one day earlier than I usually do it. The only reason why is because the typical day I would be doing this is on Thanksgiving, and I'm going to be busy for that, so I don't want to make the video late. So happy Thanksgiving to everyone that's watching this video that's celebrating Thanksgiving today. Anyway, so my video that I'm going to be bringing to you today is my usual predictions video. This obviously is, the most important game of the season for us. It's our, obviously our biggest rival of the season, playing against Ohio in Ohio this week. And it's going to be an interesting game. I think that, just right off the bat, I don't think that this is going to be one of those games where we blow them out the water as a blowout, like, when we had those consecutive weeks of, completely shutting down teams and scoring like 47 points. I don't think that's going to be the case in this game, and I'm going to get into it. But one of the main reasons why, obviously, is, first of all, we're playing on the road. I wish I had a split stat of what we do on the road versus what we do at home, because I honestly think that it would be just a completely amazing stat to see. Luckily, our defense always does travel, so that has always been consistent throughout the whole year. But offensively, we don't necessarily put up the same stats that we do on defense when we go on the road. So that's why I'm thinking that, we're not gonna. It's not gonna be one of these games that we quote unquote kill them, blow them out, or anything like that. I think this is gonna be a closer game than a lot of what people are thinking. But I do think that we're going to this year. This year is going to be the year for us. I really thought that in 2016 we had a very good opportunity to win. Obviously it didn't help that the team got some home cooking from the referees and some real bad calls, some real bad spots that ended up dooming us in that game. But I think this year is going to be a little bit different. I think this team has the makeup to get this done, and we're trying to complete this revenge tour, and this is the last stop on the revenge tour, and I think we're going to get this victory as well. One of the keys to this game is going to be, more than anything else, our defense versus their offense. I think that, I think our defense has the ability to really cause a lot of havoc with their offense. Their offense seems to be predicated on Haskins having having enough time to make the the passes that he needs. But if we can get enough pressure on him without having to blitz, it's going to throw everything off for what they want to do. They've got the rushing game going for the last couple of weeks and stuff like that, but I feel as though, I don't think that they were going to be able to do it this week. Our defense is, I know that in the last couple of weeks, people have been concerned about our defense, and with Rutgers, giving up the yards that we did. But when you really look at it and you really dissect it, a lot of those yards that we gave up against Rutgers, a huge chunk of that was on one play. I said that I was concerned about that. I knew that was going to be one of those things where we're playing Rutgers in Indiana. Is it going to kill our momentum? Are we going to, not play up to the level we need to because it's Rutgers in Indiana? So those concerns were valid, I guess you could say. But I think that whatever issues that we had, we're gonna get that resolved with this game, because we're gonna be 100% focused in on getting this done and beating these guys. So I'm not too concerned about, for example, the rushing yards that we got against Rutgers, or even with Indiana. Indiana had a lot of success early, but when you look at it in the second half, I mean, what did they do? Score a field goal? I mean, our team is, once it comes to the second half, our team gets locked in. So if you're going to do whatever you're going to do against us, you better get it done in the first half, because in the second half we've been shutting down teams. And I don't think that's going to be any different for this game as well. So if Ohio is going to get anything on us, it's going to be in the first half, more than likely in the first quarter. So the key to victory for us is just to stay, if we have the lead or it's close or anything like that, Ohio is in big trouble. I mean, I'm just going to say that flat out. They have to, if they want any chance of winning this game, they have to be up big. It's got to be a game like Notre Dame or Northwestern, where they get up by a large margin of points and then just hold on. And I don't know if these guys can do that unless it's like some huge amount that they're up. But I don't see them doing that based off our defense. Because, I mean, our defense is not one of those things where we give up huge chunk plays. We don't give up big plays. We've made teams earn, for the most part, every score that they've got. They've had to work the ball down the field, and that just works perfectly into how we just play and position ourselves for each one of these games. The game plan is simple, and we're going to be following that exact same game plan for this game as well. Just is all about ball control. It's all about keeping their offense off of the field while we do what we need to do, and just pressuring them into feeling that they need to score and score quickly. These guys are used to getting big plays, big chunk plays where their guys are wide open, running free in the secondary, behind the safeties. But Michigan's defense doesn't allow that stuff. We don't give up big, huge plays where it's a blown coverage where there's a guy wide open in the secondary. For the most part, if you're going to beat us, you're going to have to drive the ball down the field and score. And a lot of teams have struggled to do that against their defense. You might get a play here, you might get a play there, but can you put everything together and consistently do that and sustain that for a whole entire game? That has been the whole problem with offenses that play against our defense for the season. And that's going to be Ohio's biggest problem for this game. Can you successfully, continually sustain drives against our defense? Because we're not going to give up the big play. So that's going to be Ohio's biggest problem for this game. For us on offense, obviously their problem is going to be, can they stop us? People are making a big deal and making this a huge concern about our offense, saying it's not that good, blah, blah, blah. But I'll be honest with you, our offense has improved tremendously over the course of this year, and it's become more and more consistent and more potent. And with guys getting healthier, that's just going to continue to be a theme for the rest of the season. You look at the game last week against Indiana, and you just, on the surface, you say, oh, well, we only scored 31 points against Indiana, so, we didn't have a good game, but we only punted the ball once. And we pretty much were able to do whatever we wanted against those guys. Yes, I understand that in the red zone we did have some issues, but think about it. We got to the red zone 8 times. Now, that's a lot to get into the red zone against a team. Now, you get to the red zone 8 times. Now, I know that we ended up kicking field goals 6 times. scoring a touchdown one time, and then there was that debacle at the end of the first half, where the ref dropped the football and then the guy kicked the ball away from the referee so the time would expire. I don't know what that was all about, but we were able to move the ball very easily against those guys. So yes, we only put up the 31 points, but just think about if, say for example, we were able to convert half of those field goals to actual touchdowns. Yeah, you're looking at least another 12 points. If you add on the end of the half where the Indiana did that little cheat move, that's another 3 points that we should have at least have got. That's 15 points. So you're looking at it no longer being 31, but being at a score of 46. So the offense isn't as bad as people think it is. Yes, we had a bad run as far as on offense for the red zone for that game, but consistently we were putting up the yards, just not putting it in. So I think that we have every ability to beat these guys this game. This is it. We have. If it's not now, I don't know when it's going to be. So I think that we're going to get the victory. The time is now. We're at a point where we're trending upwards. These guys are just kind of floating and slightly trending downwards. I don't know if Urban Meyer is going to be there next year. It doesn't look like it. I know that there's reports saying that he is, and he's pretty much got on record saying he is, but I don't think he's going to be there. Especially if they lose to us this year, I don't think that he's going to be here next year. I'm just saying. It doesn't look like it. He's going through a whole lot of health issues, kind of like at the end of his tenure at Florida. So I don't think that he's going to be there next year. But that's just my honest opinion. So, like I said, I think that we're going to win this game. It's going to be a little bit tighter than we'd like, but I think that overall our team is just playing at a different level. We're playing better, playing more consistent. And I'll be honest with you, something is going on wrong at Ohio. You can't play this bad on defense all year and there not be an issue. Personally, I think it's a matter of coaching. Obviously, I can't prove it, but you can't be consistently that bad all year and have the talent that they have and it not be anything dealing with coaching. I remember with Michigan, before Don Brown, before D.J. Durkin, Greg Madison was our defensive coordinator. And I remember, anyone who's watching this, if you remember before Greg Madison, what was his name? I think it was Greg Robinson was the defensive coordinator. And I remember the year that he was the DC for our team, we were terrible. I remember there was one game that I think we played against Illinois where the score was like a basketball score. Worse than the Maryland-Ohio game that went on last week. I mean, it was like 60-something to 60-something. I can't remember the final score. But we could not play a lick of defense. Everyone was doing whatever they wanted against us. We couldn't stop anybody. Couldn't stop the run. Couldn't stop the pass. Couldn't do anything. But we had the talent, but we just couldn't do anything. Then Greg Madison comes in, and the very next year, with exactly the same players, in fact, probably even less players because some of them went on to the NFL, we went from being just atrocious to being a very stout defense. And the only difference is coaching. So I think that's the issue with Ohio, and that's going to be their downfall for this year. So, anyways, that's it for the video. I know I've gone on for longer than I probably wanted to. But thank you for watching the video. If you liked the video, please feel free to leave a like on the video. It's definitely been helping my channel, helping it to grow. Leave me a comment in the comment section below. What do you think about this game? Do you think that we have a chance to win? What are the keys do you think of us winning? just let me know how you feel about our team overall in the comment section below. And if you enjoy my content and you want to continue to watch my stuff, definitely subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to grow the channel as big as possible and try to get it up to, like I said, my goal is for 1,000 subscribers. So anyways, thank you for watching the video. Happy Thanksgiving, as I said before, and go blue.